State of the real estate market for December 2023 for Madison, Alabama. Beau Miles, the owner and broker of Essential Real Estate, he has joined us every single month for 24 months to tell us what is going on with the Madison market. And this morning, we have not talked ahead of time. I don't know what stats he's about to pull. As someone that lives here in Madison, I cannot wait to hear what is happening with our real estate. There's new constructions everywhere. There's listings going on and off. I have a friend who has a house on the market. I'm not sure they had a showing for a month, but then there's other houses that sell fast. Beau, you've got to tell people in Madison what is happening right now for our
Let's
market.
kind of chat about it, yeah. And forgive the voice. I think it's tis the season for
Tis the season.
weirdo congestion, and so we did kind of skip November, kind of just with the holidays. I went on a long vacation and went to the great state of Disney and loved it. And so
Fun.
thanks for being patient, but we're back at it. And so I've got a whole lot more information than I normally have, but let's dive in. As always, old man Beau is going to show up
Let's go.
for us. So, okay, so here's the deal. And I wanted to pull a different set of information, not different set, we're still going to do the same stuff, but again, to always establish this is just Madison City, just our city limits of Madison, okay? But I really wanted us to compare December to last January. Because if you remember last January, we were all starting to go, oh, the market's, oh gosh, we're about to crash. Oh no. So I
Yeah.
want to compare to what we started at the beginning of this year and what we're at now. I want to talk to you about rates. I want to talk to you about what the Fed is doing. So let's talk about last month. Let's talk about it all there, but let's just
Okay.
dive in. So in 2022, so in November of last year, our
Okay.
average days on the market was 19. In October, we're going to say last month, but in October, we were sitting on 29. So it had gone up 10, or 10 from 2022. And now
Yeah.
today, we're sitting on 36. However, in January of this year, 2023, we're at 41. And so what we're actually seeing is a normal thing that in the winter times we do typically slow down. So really and truly, only a 7 day change between October and now makes me actually go, that's actually not that bad. Because if you realize in 2022, November, we were at 19, but we had gone to 41 in January. So
Did
we had
we
gone,
really?
yeah, I went back and watched our old videos. And so, and
Was
so
that seasonal or
yeah.
did something happen?
So what we were seeing right then is just the Fed had started increasing rates, and people were going, whoa, 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 we want to get out. We want to get out. And then we had that seasonal slowdown, which is very, very normal. November, December, January, even a little into February, we have a slowdown, but a
Hmm.
price increase because our houses all look prettier during this time and all that good stuff like that. And so it's pretty normal to see it. But to know that even from now, from January till now, we've gone down. We not only that, we've gone down in the. There's a cat behind you. We've gone down. Hey, Jingle.
Yeah.
We've gone down in uh, rates or in days on the market in a season that included Thanksgiving. So you're talking about your friends' houses on the market. We're going to come back to that one. So let's go ahead and do how much money we were selling for in October. 419,000. Today 414. All intents and purposes, approximately the same. 2022 in November, about the same time we were doing it there, 300 January, 406. So all you've heard about all year long is how prices are gonna dive bomb and this is bad, and we've gone up. We've gone up in our pricing since then. Active on the market in October, 424. In 2022, we only had like 155 during the same period of time. It's a 30-day time that went active. Okay, so if you go back and watch the video, I was like 200 something. Well, that was a smaller period of time, so we could have had a bigger increase and all these different weirdo things like that. January, 341. Today, 471.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah,
So wait, say that
yeah.
number again.
So
January of 23 to December
we
of 23.
January we had 341 on the market active on the day we did our recording. Today we have 471 active on the market the day we did our recording. October 424. So we're going to talk about what that means in some more detail because there's some other stuff that's very interesting coming. So let's just talk about sold, listing, and pending, like the things that are actually leaving the market.
Okay.
271 in October, 225 this month. In November of last year, basically 150 or so, give or take. Okay. So we're going to talk about that too. And then January of this year, 204. So what that tells me is this, guys. We're better than we were in January, and this has been a bad market. Okay? That's what everybody's telling you right now is, hey, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Look at how bad my house is sitting and nothing's moving and nothing is this. And oh my gosh, the sky is falling and we've gotten better. We've gotten better in both days on the market, both in price. The only thing we've gotten worse in is how much inventory we have. So what does this actually mean for you? It means if you're a buyer, get your booty out there and start buying, because here's what the Fed did for the last 3 months. And they actually, Erica, you timed this scheduled meeting perfectly. Do you know what the Fed did yesterday to interest rates?
I don't.
Nothing. For the third straight month, they didn't move them. We expected one more cut or one more raise in 2023. That's what we all expected. They told us that was coming, and they didn't do it. So
I'm going to be can I interrupt you?
Yes, please.
I'm going to be a big stinker and make a prediction. Okay? I might bust up this whole video.
Let's go.
This means we have so much stinking inventory on the market that you can go out, you can play ball, you can get a house. But what we think is going to happen in 2024 is because they have not increased rates 3 times in a row, things might start dropping. You're going to get a good price on a house now, and then you might be able to refinance and not have to compete with all the other crazies that are going to come out of the woodworks when prices start to drop. Did I nail it?
You nailed it. So right now, I called my mortgage guys this morning. I called Elliott Farmer.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I know. I called Elliott Farmer. If you need a mortgage guy, he's awesome. I called him this morning and I said, hey, give me your 30-year conventional rate. He said, does it have a 1% buy down? Which we're going to talk about that in a minute. It's like, let's say no. He said 7.5. He said, well, what if I can get a 1% buy down? He said, well, you can get that to 6.5. He said VA rates and FHA rates, if you can get a buy down, you can get to 6. So you can still get a 6 today. And sellers are wanting, because remember, we have 471 homes on the market. It's taken 36 days for them to go off the market. So sellers are getting a little itchy. They're getting a little twitchy. And so now what they're saying is, I'll give you that 1% buy down. I'll pay some of your closing costs. I'll do some of these things to make your life better. And you can be at 6% right now. And then the Fed not only yesterday said nothing is going to happen to the rate, but they insinuated, as the Fed often does, as to a forecast of what they think is going to happen. And they said they're projecting at least 3 cuts next year. So that means, if let's just assume it's a quarter point, could be a half point, usually not. Usually it's a quarter point. So when I say a point, a percentage equals a point. So like 1% is 1 point, 2% is 2 points, et cetera, et cetera. So a quarter of that. So we're expecting 3 cuts at some point in the year. My guess is actually Q1, we'll start seeing them. Not going to get political, but don't forget there is something that happens in November of 2024. Usually there are certain people who are very much so caring about how the economy looks and they want to get your vote. And so they kind of help nudge it. Let's just say it that way. That's my conspiracy theory, right? But everybody knows it.
Everyone's agreeing with you. Right. Yeah, right. Things have to start to look good. Yeah.
They got to make it look good. And so I'm expecting almost a point different from today. Now, what does that actually mean? I saw a stat, don't know if it's true, so don't hold me to this one, that it said that every 1 point we drop in interest rates, 8 million more people get into the market nationwide. 8 million.
If you're a buyer,
yeah. So
you're going to be competing.
If you're a buyer right now, your answer is to say, this is the beginning of us going back. Now, we're not going back to 275. We're not going back to 3.25. We're not going back to that. God forbid a major tragedy. That's what it's going to take to get back down there. What we are talking about is a standard 5.5, 6 6% rate. I expect us to be in the fives next year. Kind of thought we'd touch it this year. We didn't. We are flirting very, 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 very close to it right now. And like I said, given the day, you might can jump into those. And so all that to simply say, hey guys, if you're a buyer and you've been looking, it's going to take you 30 days to close. Well, Erica, that would put us at approximately January 15th. Well, there's a chance by then we've heard a rate has dropped, potentially. Not positive, we don't know, but there's a chance. There's a chance of it. So now what this means is we drop. All of a sudden, more buyers are in the market. And now what this means is probably some sellers who've been kind of sitting around, maybe they've even rented their house for a while. They're probably putting theirs up here soon too. And so what this means if you're the seller is, guys, you need to take every listing and every single showing that comes through your house, and you need to negotiate it. Because now you're going to not want to be the one who sat on the market for 70 days because you don't see it as much on our MLS. It's a lot harder to see it. So you want to be the one who had 30 days, 25 days, and now you've got people actually interested. And then if you're ready to list come mid-January, and if we get a bump down, hold on, because approximately 2 million more people with every quarter point, 2 million more people in the nation get going. So I don't know what that equates to with us. Could just be 5,000 more people, could be 500, but we only have 500 homes for sale here in Madison. So I forecast another weird year of lots of strange things, but I want to kind of just bring up one more thing. We've gone up in price, and yes, we've gone up in rates. But right now, if you had bought in January, you would already have equity in your home, and you can refi and get that equity out, or leave it alone, or do whatever you want with 1 year in a home. Something for you to think about if you're a buyer or a seller. I told you I had a lot of information today.
If you want to buy or sell in Madison, this was gold. It's really interesting because I know you have to be very careful in the predictions you make because they are just that. There is no crystal ball, right? However, when you do lock arms with an experienced, knowledgeable agent, or brokerage, they can walk you through just predictions that are educated, right? And you gave such valuable information for buyers and sellers. It's going to be so wild to see as those quarter percentages potentially drop, how many more people that have just been waiting to buy are going to come back. And when you have those desirable homes on the market, and just thinking about those people that did go out on a limb and buy this past January, they have that year of equity. Like, high five.
So
how
this
great.
is now that your price will go up because supply and demand. You're going to have more demand hit the market. We know that if these rates drop, even them staying the same, we know there is more demand in the market. People are getting used to seeing these kind of rates. And so you're going to have a better price in general just because of that. But don't forget, it's not just people who've been waiting. It's now people can afford. There are people who a 7% takes out of the realm when a 5.5 kept them in. So that's big that they can now afford that rate. So it's more than we think.
Okay, this is awesome. Hey, Beau, I know you are a busy guy. You've got a busy day ahead. Thank you for telling us what is happening because you know what? It's Christmas time. We're busy, but January is coming. 2024 is coming. And so you can't lose sight if you've got things in the back of your head. True story. We sent our first email back in 2017 to an agent to help us buy a house in Madison. This is before we knew you. We sent that email Christmas night of 2017 because our brains transitioned from Christmas to we've got to do some things in 2018. So if you're watching this and you've got that in the brain, you can reach out during the holidays. Agents, they are going to say, we don't care. It's Christmas. We want to talk to you. So you guys reach out to Beau with Essential Real Estate, his fabulous, fabulous team of incredible agents. I know half of them. Man, talk about just just really phenomenal people with the highest integrity. Reach out to Beau personally. You can call, text him. My texting skills are terrible. Beau's are phenomenal. Respond immediately. Beau, thank you so much for joining us every month. This information was so valuable. We appreciate you. We'll see you in January.
Merry Christmas. See ya.
Merry Christmas.